this specific topic about the suicide rate and protecting people, I heard that the suicide rate among the trans community is like 40% attempt suicide rate.
Yeah, look, there's different studies and data, so I'm not 100% sure on that.
Me neither, yeah.
But what I do know is that nearly every study shows that the suicide rate increases after medicalisation.
All right. I looked into this at the time because I think I once got into a debate with someone on this, and they said, yeah, okay, look, Joel, it is 40%. Like, they owned it. That's because they're getting bullied and society hasn't accepted them. I was just curious what you'd sort of say to that person.
Look, I mean, anyone who is considering ending their life needs great compassion and great care. But giving them a masking or mimicking action to do is not going to solve that problem. And so these young people, or not, but most of them are young people who are struggling with their gender identity, it is usually because there is another problem. So deal with the other problem.
Right.
And what we see is that gender identity is usually worked out. Because you can't, I liken it to a bit of a mist. You know, you can't grab hold of a mist. It's not tangible, and it fades away as soon as the sunlight comes on it. And when these people are gender confused, you know, it's just a mist to go, oh, take these drugs, wear this costume, change your name, make people call you this pronoun. But when the sunlight is shone on it, the truth, it all just crumbles. And of course they're going to be left feeling really betrayed because, oh, I was sold these solutions. I am now condemned to these solutions for life. What options do they have? Like, it's intensely cruel. And let me tell you, you know, I talk to detransitioners as well. In Australia, you have every service under the sun if you say, I'm transitioning. You'll get medical care, psychological care, hospital care, housing, employment benefits. You get the lot.
Wow.
The moment you say, I am detransitioning, all the medical institutions, particularly in Victoria, go, sorry, can't deal with you anymore. Housing, no, you're not in a special protected minority anymore. No more housing, no more employment benefits. And a lot of these people lost their families or communities originally. Then they go into the LGBT rainbow communities, and now they're saying, no, we don't want you either. And so the trauma that these detransitioners go through is mind-boggling and unbelievable in every way. So it's horrifying. So I think as a community we have failed, like desperately failed these young people. And if they're coming with suicide ideation, we need to be saying, right, let's really dig into what's going on here, because putting you on drugs or changing your appearance is not going to resolve this problem.
So if your kid is struggling with this and you say, well, I don't want my kid to commit suicide, you know, so we should transition them, you're actually condemning them to a very high chance of suicide.
I believe so, yeah.
You're pushing them further to the edge, really.
Right.
All these drugs are like basically causing a chemical imbalance in your brain and making your depression even more severe.
Yeah.
There's a really hopeful chapter in our book, Devastated. So, like, there's some really devastating stories, obviously, of that's exactly what's happened. People have been put on these drugs. Particularly the girls are left feeling like, well, I'm not feminine in any way, shape or form now, but I'm not a bloke either. But there's a mum in here who had 2 daughters wanting to identify as males. And in the immediate, she just said, okay, I'll call you by whatever name you want. You can cut your hair, you can dress masculine, but while you live in my house, you're not going on drugs. Let's wait until you're 18 plus. Now, both of those girls, they went through really hard times, really difficult, but she really hung on to that relationship. Thankfully, the girls weren't groomed to be taken off the family, because that has happened to others. And the oldest girl has now, in her 20s, just gone, oh, I'm okay. I'll just be like a tomboy, gender fluidity sort of person. And the younger daughter could now go on hormones if she wants to, but she hasn't gone. So it's a horrendous pathway to take, but this mother, like, I think provides a lot of hope to just, in the initial crisis, meet your child where they're at, but really prolong that situation of putting them on any medicalised pathway while we really try and lobby the government to stop all medicalised pathways, because it is unproven, and if anything, it's proven to do more harm.